evening. It's 8 p.m. Eastern
Do
Standard
you know
Time.
where your children are?
Hopefully,
And if you don't, and they're old enough, does it really matter?
hopefully out of the house and not bothering you anymore. Thank
Hi,
you.
guys.
Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Dustin.
I'm Chandra. This is Thor, and Bruce, the other cat, is sitting over here. I don't know what he's doing. He's being a weirdo.
Trying to get to that cottage cheese over there.
He's being a weirdo. No, he's not. He's getting, I don't know what he's doing. He's just being weird.
That's what we do. We wrangle cats.
Yes.
Thank you.
There was a point in time when I wrangled cats at work, which I no longer have to do, thank goodness.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. Again, this is Tuesday Night Live with me and Chandra KetoSimple. You know, what we do.
That is what we do.
Thank you all for being here. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button, share,
subscribe.
That's right. We're trying to get into a little thing where we, remind you guys to do stuff. It's like homework, but different.
It's like, well, you can do it at home.
You hopefully are at home.
I mean, it is homework. What did you got on you now?
That's a different cat.
I know, but this cat has. They must have been fighting again.
She's not paying attention to you guys.
I'm not.
She's mean.
I am.
But anyway, we had a wonderful lunch today with a wonderful person. Yes. She can now attest to the fact that this one is actually real, not AI generated.
I am not AI generated. I am a real human being.
She's not just a part of my imagination.
I mean, I am in your head.
Quite often.
Yes.
Rick is here. Rick said, being different is my specialty.
That's what I do too.
Because I said, is different always better?
I think so.
Because we're trying to be a little different with our lives. Trying to add more value for all the wonderful people who show up and hang out with us.
Right.
For our wonderful members. Carnival K is in the house. Good evening.
You didn't tell everybody who we ate lunch with.
Oh, did I not say I did?
No, you said with a wonderful person.
Oh, look at that.
About them.
Look at that. Look at that. I had dinner with this one right here.
Well, lunchish.
Lunch. I mean, we went to Rockstar Pizza with Andy. Milady Laugh a Lot.
Yes.
We had a good time. I hope Susan's listening. Hi, Susan. But she's probably watching NCIS or something.
Probably.
Yeah. Amy's in the house.
Hello, Amy. Thank you for coming to the house.
Maritza is here all the way from Viva Las Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah.
How is the Vegas?
Probably Vegas-y.
I bet it's warm.
Glitzy and glamorous.
Is that what it is?
Probably some, I don't know. Stucco.
My favorite game to play in Vegas is
Bridesmaid.
Prostitute or Bridesmaid. I can't help it. It's a very fun game. And then,
it was cool when we had people watching us.
There's always, is that guy a pimp?
I did see
He's
one.
dressed very well.
I did
is
see
that guy
one.
a pimp?
The first time I ever went to Vegas, I saw one in real life. We stayed at Sahara when it was Sahara the first time, because then it was SLS and then it was closed and now it's Sahara again.
Mm-hmm.
But we stayed. It was like 2006, and we went downstairs and they had like this cafe thing that was open all night, and there was this dude like with a cane, dressed in all white, just sitting in the corner, just chilling. And I'm like, oh,
he's a pimp.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there goes our monetization. So I'm hoping you guys are really happy and generous with your super chats tonight, because we'll be making no money from this video because someone, I'm not going to name any names, or maybe I'll give you her initials.
Somebody can't keep her mouth shut for even 5 minutes.
Right?
Yeah. Here's Bruce. He's coming to say hi.
She said hi to us.
Hello, hello.
You too. Look at that. Everybody knows your name.
Yes. It's just like Cheers.
It is like Cheers. Evelyn.
Thanks for joining us. I've got one cat in the lap, and the other cat hasn't decided what he's doing yet. He's just holding my arm down with his paw.
If you have any questions, please feel free to ask questions.
Yes.
Comments.
Concerns.
Things you would like to talk about. Things that you would like to complain to management, me, about the employee, her.
Management. Never mind. Definitely not management material.
Sean is here. Yeah. So hopefully you guys are really generous with those
Management is these furry cats. They're in management.
They kind of make you do stuff, but they don't really know what's going on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They observe, they talk a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
they say nothing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now Bruce has decided to completely sit on my arm
You don't need it.
because I have another one, so I don't need this one.
See,
That's
there's
the cat report.
There's Andy. Andy's
Hello.
listening.
Thanks for coming to lunch with us today. That was fun.
Visual Keto is here. Woohoo! I made it. She says.
Me too. Seat of my pants, but I made it. I was at the Goodwill tonight. I had a good time at the Goodwill tonight. I got a lot of stuff.
You did. You got like 3 bags in a box.
I got 4 bags in a box.
Oh, okay.
I just put one of the bags into the box. Made it easy to carry.
She got me a shirt.
Yes.
It's a long sleeve Bucky shirt. I'm excited about it.
And it says Bucky's in black velvet.
Black velvet.
What is that, velvet?
Oh, yeah. She says, yay, my best day buddies.
It was a good day. We had fun.
We had keto breadsticks. They were delicious.
Yes, they are always delicious at Rockstar Pizza out in Brownsburg, Indiana.
She seemed to be okay. She was excited to go to Goodwill.
I think she's kind of drugged up, honestly, with the ibuprofen and the multi-symptom cough syrupy stuff, that she's generally like excitable, but when it wears off, then her nose just runs and she just gets whiny.
Yeah.
So good, but drugged up.
Yeah. Hopefully she feels better tomorrow. Hope she gets a good night's sleep and feels better.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know how to blow her nose.
She doesn't want to blow her nose. She's not having it. It's just not her thing. It's just no. We're not doing it. And no matter how many times you try, no matter how you talk to her about it, it's just no. We're not doing it.
Lynn is here. She says, hello, Dustin, Shander, Thror, Bruce, and everyone else.
Thror.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows his name.
Yeah, like.
Yes, like.
Tania is here.
Ooh,
good evening.
All the way from Wisconsin.
Tania.
Ooh.
I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please correct me if I am wrong. From Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin. It's a nice place.
We go there frequently, actually. I have a sister that lives in New Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
So we go up there often.
Way to dox them. Cool.
Yes, because everybody's going to know who they are.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you're from the area, you know them.
Well, that's one thing. That's different.
Yeah. Sherry is in the house.
Thanks for joining. Oh, so I went to Goodwill. Oh, you picked up a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came to Goodwill for a little bit. And she bought some toys. And then she went home and you came home. And you chilled while I stayed at Goodwill.
Yep.
And then he came to get me before the live.
That's right.
So what did everybody else do with their days?
Yeah, Sean said that the lunch at Rockstar looked really good.
It is very good.
It's so yummy.
And the thing is like, I probably shouldn't have eaten it because I had eggs earlier, but I ate it anyway. So
before we went,
broken fat.
I decided to eat some food because that way hopefully if I could eat some bacon and some burger, I would be less tempted to eat more stuff at the Rockstar place. And I just got an order of breadsticks instead of a whole pizza and breadsticks because sometimes I'll get 2 orders of breadsticks. And I got these clearance prime rib burgers from Walmart. They're in the fresh burger section and they look fine. And then I'm like, we've got them before. And we thought, well, they tasted a little sugary.
They tasted weird.
Yeah.
They tasted like sweet.
Yeah.
Meat meat has a meat flavor. Ow, claws. Come on, man. Meat has a meat flavor, which depending can have a little bit of a sweet depending on who's eating it and what kind of meat and whatever. But this tasted like sweet. It tasted weird. And then you noticed.
Yeah. And then I looked at the ingredients and it said meat or like beef and then natural flavors.
Yeah.
So
probably has some junk in it you don't want.
I imagine it's probably to make you think it tastes like prime rib.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
It
no.
just there's something weird about it. It tastes weird. But
She said Las Vegas is in the 50s today.
that's still
That's
shorts
like
weather.
colder than it was here. It was
Yeah.
almost 70 degrees here today.
Yeah, I still wore pants and a hoodie.
I wore a shirt. Oh, I wore obviously.
Did you?
I wore shorts and house shoes.
He wore a shirt, folks.
You know what?
That's
Cindy's
nice.
here. She's gonna beat me up. She's like, Chandra gives me permission to beat him up whenever I want to.
That's true. That is very true. Because, you know, he can sometimes be rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. So beat him up.
What? When has that ever happened?
When your brain takes control of the chat.
You're the one that causes all the trouble.
I just say words and you go, and your brain steps in.
Stacy says, hey to all the good friends, to Dustin too. That's not even nice.
Hi, Stacy.
They have gluten-free and keto pizza.
Yes, they have all kinds of things on their menu.
I would say that the keto pizza has got to be gluten-free because it's made with almond flour. But they also have a gluten-free, not keto pizza.
But they have a lot of not keto stuff too, but they have keto things, and they got their crust like evaluated and whatnot to make sure it was actually keto. Like they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, hopefully it's legitimate.
It has been in the past.
Yeah. Rick says there's no money on YouTube. There's YouTube. There's billions of dollars in YouTube. It's just a matter of
It's just not going to us.
Are you able to get some of it?
It's just not going to us. It's just going to all those big people.
Cindy says no bowling tonight, so I am here. So you had nothing better to do, so you're hanging out with us. I see how it is.
Hey, I can be just as fun as bowling. I'm round. Roll me on the floor. I move. I can
trip you.
I don't need you to trip me. I can follow my own.
It's true.
Yeah.
She can lay on the floor and fall off of it.
Is that it?
Yeah, lay on the flat floor and fall off somehow.
I'm a little bit klutzy. Or a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or a lot. Most likely a lot. But yeah. Oh.
Let's see. Everyone's saying hello to everybody.
Yes.
You said Bruce was sitting on your arm. Woo! I heard that all wrong. Well, he has done that to her before.
He has. He's my poop cat.
Yeah.
And I try to love him in spite of it. It's hard. It's very difficult. I do love this cat. He is quite the jerk face.
Visual Keto says, I hope Shauna is getting some healing vibes. I hope Shauna's feeling good.
I hope
she shows
better.
up.
Boys, I got to go for a jog. Got to fix that beep. One cat jump.
Jeff says he be lurking.
Well, thank you for lurking.
Carl says, taking a break to watch Dustin and Chandra. Hi, everybody.
We're a good intermission. For whatever you got going on, we are a good intermission.
That's right. Rick says, I'll be here for a bit. Then I'll join Russ for the Keto Cookout. Well, that's fun. Tell Russ I said hello.
Yes. Mecca like a hi, Mecca hiney ho.
That's right. Something like that.
Oof.
Yeah, she said Tanya work. Tanya is how it's said, but it's all good. Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us, Tanya.
All right. Thank you for
being
here.
With electrolytes.
I'll put up the vlog in the morning. All right. Jeff said he winterized their RV.
For some reason, I thought it said you winterized your TV, and I was like, I don't even know what that entails.
What
do you mean?
You got to put some plastic over it so the TV doesn't get cold.
Like, what does that mean?
You got to put some mittens on it.
Yes.
Maritza says, I made bacon and eggs, burgers, and egg salad today. Like,
You've got a baggie of bacon.
I got a
I'm
bag.
not going to eat because there was bacon on the breadsticks that we had today, and I've already had heartburn for the majority of the day. So I'm not having any bacon, even though I like it and I'd like to have it. I'm just not going to.
Janelle is here.
Thank you for joining us.
We appreciate you.
So when we were talking about, you just said putting mittens on the TV.
Yeah.
So when a patient
doesn't even have hands.
when a patient is confused and going to hurt themselves, we can put mitts on them. They're not technically a restraint if they have the physical capability to take them off. So they Velcro on, but I'm always telling them, your hands are really cold. We're going to put these mittens on to keep them warm. Because most of the time they're out of their mind and they don't understand what you're doing to them anyway. So.
Andy says, they were so yummy. Susan was sad I didn't bring her any home, but we'll be back soon so she can have some personally and hot.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in it. And if you get the breadsticks, it's not expensive. They're like $8.
Yeah.
And like if you get the pizza, I think it starts at like 15.
But the pizza's good too.
Yes.
It's different. They don't taste the same. They use different crusts, but the pizza is good too.
Oh, Carrie's in the house. He says, coffee puns make me believe in the power of laughter. Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you didn't, but that's fine. Believe in the power of laughter.
Do you believe in the whatever I was going to say, but it just not going to work out.
Do you believe in life after love? You got to sound like you're choking on something. See, I just talk and he takes it somewhere else.
I didn't say a word.
He didn't have to.
You know what?
Even Thor knew. Look at him. Even Thor knew.
Lynn says, my day, I was in a dentist chair getting a replacement crown. So I told you she was a queen.
Right.
On the upside, they didn't charge me because the original crown was less than 5 years old. Go me. Saved $975.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I would be willing to sit in a chair and get, new crowns if I didn't have to pay for them. Well, I think mine are probably fine, but I mean.
Carnivore K said, transmission check, Aldi's, nails, kept my granddaughter. Where'd you keep her? Then a nap. I needed it.
If she's anything like ours, it might have been a cage.
Right?
She's wild. 6-year-olds be wild.
That's very true.
Yes.
Get off me.
He's just cuddling.
I know, but it hurts.
Yes. His love is pain.
Ugh.
That's how you know he
You're
loves
the
you.
only pain love that I need.
Is it? Is that it?
Yes. Oh, and very thin ribeyes.
Ooh. After this, I need to eat some other food.
How can you hang out with Dustin without a coat, without a clothes hanger? I did not say I had nothing better to do. You didn't have to. Because if you didn't have better things to do, you'd be here every week. Okay? I know you. I'm watching you. I understand. I see you. I see you.
It's all right. I'll smack him later, Cindy. It'll be fine. I'll get him back in line.
Right? See, look, Cindy's slumming it tonight with us. See? That's right. Look at this. Carl says 30 people watching and only 19 likes.
It's the lurkers.
The lurkers at the gate.
Well, it's okay. Maybe they're busy. Their hands are busy. They're doing things. They're cooking. Did he just puke on the floor?
Probably.
Freaking cats.
We're getting waved at by Janelle. Ken Pattison is here. He says, howdy to you all.
Thanks for joining us, Ken. Yeah, I think the cat just puked on the floor.
Gross. Ugh.
I love these cats, but I'm this close to seeing what local shelter just wants 2 more. I'm just putting feelers out. They are just the rottenest things.
Easy peasy keto Stacy says, I'm fasting for my lab work in the morning. Will be my 1-year appointment with Dr. Sivas. I will share.
Nice. Well,
Good
I hope
job.
it all goes well.
Charlie was asking about the ingredients, the macros for the Rockstar Pizza. I was like, you may want to reach out to them on their Instagram.
Yes. And do they have it on the menu?
I don't know if it's on the menu or if they have it available on their website or not.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been over a year, 2 years since they started having the keto stuff.
Oh, it's been longer than that. It started in like 20. It's been going on longer than I've had a YouTube because I was only doing Instagram when it started.
Either or, I don't know, but I'm sure we can find it.
Lynette is here.
Thanks for joining us.
Lynette is the best.
He freaking puked out there, and now he's getting into stuff. I can hear him.
He's just causing a ruckus because we're not just like totally enamored with him all the way.
I just, again, this close.
Lynn says, good luck with the man tomorrow. So I was talking with her about, I was like, we were talking about different YouTubers and stuff. And she was like, cause there's the Low Carb Love who's got a lot of subscribers. And then I was talking about how all you guys are super like enamored with Dr. Chafee. I got to look up Dr. Chafee and send you so you can see.
Because I don't know what he looks like. So again, I watch YouTube resellers, not YouTube keto people. Is that from Stacy?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Stacy sending text messages.
Yes, I love it. Hilarious. So he's literally like climbing across the kitchen table after just having gotten off the kitchen counter. This cat, if I'm not standing there with a spray bottle to take care of him. All right, I see. I see why. I understand.
I knew it.
I get it. I see. I mean,
we're like twins. He and I look almost identical.
Sure. You can tell yourself that.
I mean, if you don't know what he looks like, he's a handsome feller.
He is very handsome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is. He's a good-looking guy.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Young. How old is he?
I don't know.
He looks young.
Does anybody know how old he is? I don't want to look it up.
What? How do you spell his name?
It's like coffee, but chafy.
Like you're chafed.
More like, yeah. Let's see. What did Lynn say? Because someone said, nice, Lynn. I don't know. What did I, oh, that's the, oh, never mind. I'm losing my mind here. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Man, my husband lost a crown and his was less than 5 years old and has still had to pay $2,500. Ugh. Get a new dentist. What day do you start your new job? Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I texted my new boss or whatever, and I was like, I filled out the stuff online and got everything started. Do I come in tomorrow? She's like, she's got training tomorrow with other people, so she may see if she can put me with another person and learn. I don't know. I mean, you know.
According to Reddit, he's 41 or 42-ish.
So look at that. He's just old enough for you.
Still a little young.
Really? What is wrong?
I prefer my age or older.
Get real.
The last thing I need is some young buck who's, still trying to figure out how to be an adult.
He's probably married with children.
He is, but I'm
You know what?
You know what happens in here? Happens in here. None of your business.
You want to know what happens in here?
No, nobody does. Literal nobody.
Oh, let's see. Carrie says, when I was working in retail, the moms would have children in the cart. I would ask them which aisle they found them on, and they would look at me and laugh.
Yes. I always say I found them in the garbage out back.
Carrie said, hit the like button, 1,000,000, billion, trillion plus one.
Yes.
All right.
Do it.
Got me like.
Got my like.
Oh, okay.
You got me like, whoa.
That's how I read it.
That's what I heard.
You see, I have something wrong with my ankle, so I could not bowl. I'm in a boot. Waiting on x-ray results.
That sucks.
Das Boot.
And you didn't even get it by kicking his ass.
I'm leaving. I'm going home.
Making sure we're definitely not getting monetized for this one.
You know what? Fine.
That's,
It's okay.
I'm
I'm sorry you're in a boot.
She's not even in Canada. She can't even say a boot. I love how you don't laugh at my jokes.
I'll start when they're funny.
I don't like you. Are you trying to get some of my drink?
Yeah.
Just,
Is it refreshing?
This is delicious. Do you want some?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Oh,
you sure you want some?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's okay. Talking about how that's terrible with the tooth. Andy says that she had 8,000 steps today.
Nice.
Not considering I was sitting on my butt for 7 hours today.
Yeah. I don't think I had very many steps today. Even though I did tramps all around Goodwill, I don't think that counts.
If you're not wearing your pedometer, does it even count?
I don't have a pedometer anymore. It finally
You
broke.
do.
What, my phone?
Your watch.
Oh, I don't. It does. Actually, I do wear that on the weekends, and it does tell me I walk a lot. Which is interesting because I work on a 12-bed unit, and it's pretty small. But I get a surprising amount of steps in.
Walking all around, feeling self-important.
That's what I do.
I don't know, Evelyn. It did not do anything. Ugh. Like when you just wake up and something hurts.
Oh, I hate that. That is the worst.
Like we went to the fair one time, like a couple years ago with the girl. And like everything was fine. We got home, everything was fine. Went to bed, got up, and my ankle hurt for like a year and a half. I'm like, just like for real, every day my ankle hurt for like a year and a half.
Yes, he did complain about it forever.
I mean, I would walk on the stairs and it would
Forever.
hurt, and then it would feel fine for a little bit. If I sat down for a little bit, it would hurt again. Every time I moved, I'm like, this is stupid. And it took forever. And then at Disney this last year, I got like a stress fracture in my foot. Like I felt like we were walking around Epcot, and then my foot was just like, you know what? I'm done. And it hurt. So I felt like my foot was going to fold in half the wrong way. It was bad.
I'm really not laughing at him. I'm laughing near him. Near.
Mm-hmm.
Near. Far. Near. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in a mood tonight.
She says, I can walk in it. It's just sore.
Oh, it sucks.
Hi, I'm on a phone. I'll be on a phone. I'm on a phone call. Be here in a bit. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like some cool cats. Well,
Wow.
Do you want them?
Are you in the market?
I'm gonna. If they're not behaving, I'm gonna feed them to Rick.
Yes.
I'm telling you, hopefully Cindy feels better soon.
Yes. I don't know if Rick would want them. They probably taste like cat poop.
Yeah.
Stupid
Dr.
cats.
Chafee, well, he's a big dreamboat, Chandra. That's what he looks like. He's a great doctor.
He's a little cutie patootie.
My health insurance company sent me a free mail-in A1C test last week. I got my results back, 5.4 A1C, down from 5.5 from my doctor visit 6 weeks ago.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, they're changing, I think, the scale now to where pre-diabetic starts much earlier than it did. I want to say it was
It was 5.7, wasn't it?
It was 5.7. I think they're changing it now to 5.5 as pre-diabetic. I'm not. Oops, I took off my own thing. Hang on.
Good thing it works.
And I lost the other part somewhere in here. Digging for gold. Wonder if it'll clip to the cat's ear. Anyway, be like an earring. It would be cute. I'm just saying. If I'm just saying, I'm not really doing things. I'm just talking.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I think they haven't necessarily set it into solid motion yet, but I have heard the rumors that they are adjusting it again.
Carnival K said, yeah, Dr. Chafee is easy on the eyes.
Yes, agreed.
Carrie says, I've been trying to get a job and companies keep ghosting me. This company, my brother's friend told me about it, got me the phone number. I texted the lady, and she just said, come here tomorrow at 11. I'm like, okay. I showed up, and they just started doing my paperwork. So I didn't even have to apply or anything. I just showed up. So look for one of those.
Yeah, those are a dime a dozen.
You know what? Valerie is on with Dr. Chafee this evening, I guess. Valerie's the lady that hung out with us a lot at KPL. I was telling you about her.
As far as finding jobs, if you have the stomach for it, any hospital will hire. And you don't always have to do direct patient care. There are kitchen staff, there's cleaning staff. It takes a lot. It's like a small city in and of itself. So almost any job you can think of, they need
sanitation,
yeah,
transportation.
Right. They need people to help. So if you're willing to work in a hospital, you can always try your local hospital systems. And usually there's more than one local hospital, depending on how far out in the country people are.
You said garbage and back.
Yes.
I laughed for you. That stupid cramp followed me when I drove home. Thankfully, I had more electrolytes in my car. Well, that's
I'm
good.
sorry. That sucked.
Yeah. Thank goodness for magnesium tablets. I used to get leg cramps that would make me flop around like a tuna. It would freak Shell out because I would just start screaming in the middle of the night. Oh, those are the worst.
I don't usually get those, but I do get cramps in my feet sometimes. And that's really weird because it's kind of like a claw.
The claw.
It draws up and it's very painful. And I'm pretty certain my calcium levels are off as well, because when I get my blood pressure taken, my hand will automatically draw into not a fist exactly. The thumb starts out down and then the rest of it curls around it, and it's very painful.
So I'm curious though, if they want to move the A1C down to 5.6 or 5.5 being the beginning of prediabetes, is that mainly so they can prescribe metformin?
I mean, it's probably
or is it legitimately that 5.5 is a concerning number?
I'd say you'd probably have to ask the drug manufacturers, because that's probably who's driving the change.
Or like at least asking like an endocrinologist.
You could ask an endocrinologist. They may have more info.
Yeah. I'm just curious about that because it seems like 5.5 is probably rarer than you think, and sub 5.5 is probably even more rare. And someone like Kerry talking about how the last time he was checked was 4.7, which is probably, I mean, think about the fact that if they're saying that 5.5 is now or is going to be prediabetes, yet they treat diabetics to 7.
Well, the other thing I think about is that your hemoglobin cycles, what is it, every 3 months? Every 3 months. So how is it that one number drawn once a year is what drives your treatment? How does that make sense? If we just took your blood pressure once a year and put you on blood pressure medications,
They do that,
which they do. How does that make sense? Because your blood pressure literally changes every second. It's not a static number. It's not the same. So I think, when we speak with our physicians, we need to do things to present them with evidence of what we need accomplished. So if blood pressure is an issue that you're trying to manage, you need to have your own home blood pressure cuff, and you need to keep a log, because like I said, it changes literally second by second. When I have patients who have an art line, their blood pressure can change like that. And I mean, swings that are decent size swings. Most patients, you're within a point or two of the last one, but that doesn't mean that it's that way all the time. And it doesn't mean that it will stay that way continuously, depending on what else is going on in your life. So the best thing to do is to keep track of your own and bring that tracking with you to your doctor's appointment. That way you can avoid getting medicated for things that are unnecessary. You can work on, they already knew. I didn't even have to move.
Right.
They're like lions. They just walk together like they're in a pack. Anyway, but you can avoid getting on medications that you don't want to be on, and you can work on adjusting the medications you are on to reflect what is actually necessary. Like if you realize you're taking, let's say you're taking metoprolol at home, and you've been taking it for however many years.
And what does that do?
Metoprolol is a blood pressure medication. Okay. It's a beta blocker. It can lower your heart rate and your blood pressure. So let's say you've been taking metoprolol for years, and you start taking your blood pressure, and you take it at the morning and the noon at night, and you realize that at night, every night, for whatever reason, your blood pressure is higher and the metoprolol is not actually controlling that. Well, you may need something else. Or you realize that in the middle of the day, your blood pressure is significantly lower than what is safe. well, then you may need to adjust that metoprolol dose. You may need to try something else, but you won't know it unless you're keeping track of your own body and what it's doing.
Shauna's really here now. She said a friend called. She hadn't told her about her accident yet. Oops.
Ooh, well, that happens. I forget major things a lot.
Caitlin is here.
Thank you for dropping
it's,
in.
it's the glove of my wife.
It is the glove of your wife.
The glove of my wife is here. It's an old, like a 20-year-old inside joke.
Yes.
But she had said something in here that I wanted to talk about for a second while I know she's still here. She said, let me find it. She said it's a...
That's a ridiculous number.
Yeah. I was like, the A in front of it messed me up.
Reading
I can't read so good
fundamental.
sometimes, okay? And she says, sounds like a cash grab. She says that my daughter just got reprimanded for a A1C of 4.6. The doctor wants to see it higher, but luckily we have a doctor that isn't overly concerned with medicating. A1C being 4.6 is probably pretty. I mean, that's astounding. I don't know what would be an A1C that they would actually truly should be concerned with, though.
So there is always a concern. As much as you can have hyperglycemia, you can also have hypoglycemia, which is another issue in and of itself. Patients who have chronic hypoglycemia, which is a low blood sugar, often have other conditions and issues. It isn't just, oh, you're low for no reason. There's I'm trying to think of the name of it before I just like run off at the mouth, because it's been a hot minute since I've worked in hepatobiliary. So trying to remember.
I'm going to look up and see what do they consider a low A1C. So here they say below 5.7 is considered normal. That's what we're talking about. They're talking about moving that to 5.5. Let's see.
That's what it's called.
It doesn't say anything about being too low.
There is a tumor. It's not technically a tumor. It's more like I guess it's a tumor. It's called an insulinoma, and it can form in your pancreas and cause hypoglycemia. And it turns out it's 100% treatable. They go in, they surgically remove that tumor. You don't need anything else. It's 99% benign, doesn't cause any other problems. And once it's gone, your hypoglycemia goes away. So a chronic hypoglycemic issue is typically caused by something else. There's a reason why your body is dumping insulin. So monitoring an A1C for being on the low end would make sense for somebody who you have concern with having chronic hypoglycemia.
Though you would wonder if they were having those complications and they were also producing ketones, they may not even realize that they're having those complications. But chances are they're being seen by a doctor for those complications. They're not.
So chronic hypoglycemia typically causes irritable mood. It causes hunger and weight loss. And there's a few other things. Can't remember all the other things. Anyway, so basically you're a diva like you need a Snickers bar all the time. My sister has chronic hypoglycemia. She's not even, we talked about it a few years back, and she doesn't even want to get looked at to see if she has an insulinoma, because she's not going to go through any surgery since she has young kids. Which, that is a personal journey in and of itself. And she's just not, it's not her thing. She's not going to do it. She's fine, which is fine.
Could that have also be impacted by the amount of maybe like the low amount of actual animal protein and fat she gets?
I don't know. What I do know is that there is a possibility she could have that tumor that could be removed and a problem could be solved. But she chooses not to, which is totally within her right. But typically a low blood glucose level is caused by chronic, or is chronic hypoglycemia, which is typically caused by something else. There's either damage to the pancreas in some way, shape, or form, cysts, tumors, things like that, things that need to be investigated. And you know it because that person is typically like always irritable, hard to deal with, hard to gain weight. It's an issue.
She said she was concerned with her blood sugar was 63 at the time of testing without fasting. I think that's why she was concerned. But was she acting normal? Was she just like a normal kid? Because I mean, if you've got, like, I would say that, like, for someone that's in ketosis with a blood sugar of 63 and they're just going about their day, they're not going to notice their blood sugar going that low. So that's were some of the questions that I would have.
So in most hospital systems, you'll treat a blood sugar lower than 70 across the board, regardless. But some people ride lower and they can function and at an optimal level if they're specifically eating a ketogenic lifestyle. It doesn't seem to make that big of a difference. But if your daughter doesn't eat keto and she's just a normal kid and she may be just like a horrible brat to be around sometimes, she may have a chronic hypoglycemic issue, and maybe you need to get a monitor and just kind of keep track of where she is throughout her days to see if it's a bigger issue.
Yeah. So let's see. She was saying something along the lines. She's like concerned that that she's passed on her PCOS to her. She asked her doctor if hypoglycemia could cause insulin resistance in the future, which she confirmed. Her vitamin D. Yeah, anytime your glucose is high, you run the risk of having insulin insensitivity or insulin resistance. Because I mean, your body just stops reacting to it if it's there all the time.
Well, and sort of figuring out the reason for chronic hypoglycemia is an issue, because if your body isn't creating the insulin, then you won't be likely to create an insulin resistance. However, if your body is overproducing insulin, then you definitely can develop insulin resistance in the future. Yes.
Yeah.
It depends on the cause.
Because even type 1 diabetics can get insulin resistant and become type 1 and type 2 diabetic by the amount of insulin that they have to inject in themselves.
Right.
So that's where, if you are a type 1 diabetic and you don't take care of your blood sugars and your levels get out of control, then you're pumping insulin, you got to pump or whatever. It's just like going all the time and you never get your blood sugars under control.
Right.
Yeah.
And type 1 diabetes is typically caused by a virus, or it's like a non-sequelae reaction. Like your body reacts to something that it's been through in a stress reaction, and it causes damage to the cells within the pancreas that create insulin. So typically they overproduce. They don't stop producing. So your blood sugar runs very low. And then, no, I'm saying this wrong. It's been a hot minute. I'm saying this wrong. It does damage the pancreas and the cells that produce insulin. So you have less insulin in your body as a type 1 diabetic. And you typically go into DKA, which is how they diagnose it as a type 1 diabetic, because your blood glucose will spike and you'll be in the 8 and 900s and you'll be urinating ketones.
And often
because your body can't digest, absorb, and excrete the sugars like it would normally. So you go into DKA, which is how, as a child, you typically figure out you're a type 1 diabetic, is because you will go into DKA. And then after that,
what that is.
Diabetic ketoacidosis. So it's when your blood sugar, there are certain qualifications you have to meet, because there's also HHS, which is a hyperosmotic, I don't remember what all the damn letters stand for anymore. It's a state where you have a high blood sugar, but you don't have the ketones. But regardless. So your blood sugar gets very, very high. You're spitting out ketones in your urine, and it puts you in a very risky state of being where you can have complications like seizure. You can lose consciousness. It's very dangerous to be in a diabetic acidotic state.
And you have to understand your ketone levels are usually 13, 15, 16 millimolars, whereas the normal person in a ketogenic state is anywhere from 0.2 to 0.5, maybe 1 millimolar. So it's a very drastic difference to be in DKA than it is to be in.
And DKA is technically an emergency. It needs to be
Yes.
treated emergently. So, anywho, when a child develops type 1 diabetes, it's because they're not producing the insulin to package and take care of the sugars that they're ingesting into their body. So they become their blood glucose gets beyond the normal reach, and then they need to be put on insulin. And typically, it's a chronic insulin treatment, which then can make the other cells in the body become insulin resistant over time, because their body isn't creating it.
And typically, type 1 diabetics are treated to an A1C of 7, which is still type 2 diabetic.
Well, and they do that because
Of the fear of going too low, so to speak.
It's DKA is exceptionally dangerous. People have you'll have fruity breath. They often, if they get pulled over in a car, cops will often mistake them for being drunk because their breath smells very fruity, very alcohol concentrated. But it's very scary. And typically when you're admitted to the hospital, you come up to the ICU, we put you on an insulin drip, which you stay on until we close your gap and stuff that I'm not going to get into, but it can be a very dangerous state. So a child who has a low A1C and has at least, one hypoglycemic measurement would be cause for me as a parent, as an adult, to maybe get a glucose monitor and kind of keep better tabs just to see, is this a one-time thing? Is this a chronic thing? Is this, you haven't eaten in a few hours, you maybe need to have something?
You can even get now, there's actually 2 different companies that sell CGMs over the counter. I think I want to say it's like $100 a month, because I think each one lasts about 2 weeks. People in the comments, I know that some of you may have tested these. Let us know in the comments which ones you found to be more beneficial. Insurance can cover some of those, but trying to get them to cover it if you're not severely diabetic is difficult. If you're coming in with an A1C of 4.7, they're probably not going to really be concerned.
Mhm.
I mean, your doctor may be looking at that as a little low, but the insurance companies are going to go, your blood sugar is 63, A1C's 7, or A1C's 4.7. You're not high. Why would we pay for that? So over the counter may be your best bet. And I just can't think of the 2 companies that are doing it right now.
And with her vitamin D level being low, vitamin D is something that you get from sunshine. And if you live where we live, you only get it so much. But encourage her to go outside. Our daughter bought a sun lamp. I don't know if they actually work.
Yeah, I don't know. Now does she actually use it?
Well, she said the girl took it from her. So,
take it back. She's a kid. No, this is mommy's. I need it. And we don't tell her no for much, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Sean was saying something like, it's kind of like 200 cholesterol and instant statin. Yeah. Just not medical advice, but I would personally never take a statin.
Not medical advice, but it's always better to come prepared with your information, with the data that you have collected about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because the doctor is going to hear and see the results that they get on the paper, and they're not necessarily going to hear and see what you are talking about as far as your own life and what you're getting.
And Shauna is saying that her CGM readings have been affected by medication and pain. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
If you're in severe pain, your blood sugars are going to be through the roof.
Yeah.
So it's obviously that's a good indicator to tell like how pain actually impacts you.
Yeah.
And Marisa says she tries to keep her vitals on her phone at least once a week.
Yeah. And realize the limitations of the tools that you use. So if you have a smartwatch and it takes your blood pressure on your wrist, the accuracy of that is probably not great. The
Yes.
we love you too. The accuracy of the watch on your wrist is probably not fantastic. It's better than having nothing, but
Right.
it's not fantastic. Even an automated blood pressure cuff has its own limitations. If you're not applying it to your arm correctly, if you're not sitting still with your arm at heart level and your feet flat on the floor, you're not going to get an accurate measurement. There are a lot of nuances in doing what you're doing. So keeping, and one of the things you got to think about is, what was I doing the last time I did this? Right? The last time I took my blood pressure, I was talking. So how accurate is that compared to me sitting here quiet and still? It's not. It's not the same. When we take blood pressures in the hospital, obviously dependent on what unit you're on, one patient could be up going for a walk or have just gotten back from a walk with the other patient can't get out at all. On the unit, a lot of them can't get out of bed at all. So I'm taking their blood pressure consistently on the same arm in the same spot, doing the same thing over and over again. So my measurements may not be, 100% because this is an automated cuff, but they are at least relative to each other, right? So I can tell you that this patient hasn't done anything and their blood pressure has spiked really high. That tells me that they are having some sort of pain or we're having some other problem. So, keeping track of not only what you're doing at the time, as well as how you're monitoring yourself, and then keeping track of all those monitoring things. Try to do your best to go, okay, I'm going to take my blood pressure at the same time every day, and I'm going to try to sit at my kitchen table, have it quiet in the house, rest my arm at heart level, have my feet flat on the floor, close my eyes, and relax to the best of my ability. So I get the most accurate blood pressure that I can get with this limiting monitor that I have. Or I'm going to check my blood pressure on my wrist while I'm sitting at my desk in the office and I'm taking 5 minutes to just clear my mind, and I'm going to take it at that point. So, you have to understand the limitation of the tools that you're using, the concept that we're all human and we all make mistakes and we all do things weird, and you're never going to do it exactly the same every time. But keeping track, bringing your own records with you, monitoring all of that, and then presenting doctors with evidence will typically get you in the position you want to be in. Sorry, I feel like I rambled.
Carrie says he has a hernia in his groin for about 9 months now. Since I can only go through the VA, they sent me to a community care, and the doctor was a quack. Rick wanted to get my stones by going through my back. I don't know. Does that seem normal to you?
So we have a hernia in the groin.
Mm-hmm. He wants to go through the back.
What stones?
His
kidney stones?
No. His huevos.
But a hernia. A hernia repair should be laparoscopic at this point.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trust any family care doctor to do a surgery on you. Absolutely not. You go see a general surgeon.
Or maybe they wanted to go to like a surgery center or something like that. Like they wanted to do with me.
Sketchy.
Cindy says, my cardiologist put me on metoprolol.
Metoprolol. It's fine.
That's what I said. For tachycardia episodes I get, it caused me palpitations, one of the side effects of it.
And every medication that you take can impact each person differently. We use them generalized across the board. However, every single human, although we're all built from the same cloth, we're all a little bit different. So what works for me might not work for him or you or somebody else. And that's okay. You have to keep track of your own symptoms, how you feel, and what it does for you. And then you weigh your own risks and benefits. Okay, you have tachycardia. Is it interrupting your life? Is it creating a bigger issue for you? Is it impacting your blood pressure? Does your heart have other issues? if it's benign, because a lot of tachycardia is benign,
So what is tachycardia?
racing heartbeat.
Mm.
A lot of tachycardia is benign. In other words, it's really not impacting you otherwise. Again, talk with your cardiologist, talk with your doctor. A lot of tachycardia is benign. So does it need medicated? Is it something that you can manage? And if it isn't, and you need something else and you've tried metoprolol, maybe that's not the solution for you. Maybe you need a smaller dose. Maybe you need half the dose. Maybe you need to try something different altogether. Metoprolol being a beta blocker and being an old beta blocker, they've used it for many, many, many years, is kind of a first line of defense for a lot of physicians. I know that my dad was put on a beta blocker because he had an irregular rhythm. Beta blockers are not typically used for that, but they put him on it. And he actually, his resting heart rate is 65, which again, in a hospital setting, a resting heart rate of 65, you would not give metoprolol because it will drop your heart rate as well as your blood pressure. So I went with him to the physician and I explained to him that he's going to kill my dad if he keeps him on metoprolol because he passed out multiple times. And one of those times he fell off of a 12-foot ladder. Not appropriate. Not acceptable. You can't just generalize and across the board. You see him once a year, you get his heart rate and his blood pressure once a year, and you put him on metoprolol. That's not acceptable. You need to have more information than that. But like I said, a lot of physicians work with the information that they have available. You see them once a year, they're going to treat you once a year. So create your own stack of information and bring it with you. And do as I say, not as I do. That's number one. No.
Julia the Pines is here. She says, "Hi guys, I love this later live."
Hi, thanks for joining us.
And let's see. Jeanette Cleveland is here. She said, "I was hypoglycemic, diagnosed for 25 years, symptoms since my teens. Since going more carnivore, I haven't had an episode in almost a year."
That's great. And your body might just not do what everybody else's does. And sometimes that's okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Carrie Simon, he split the screen so he can have us as well as Keto Chow when it comes on at 9:15.
Nice.
Let's see. Caitlin's not totally normal. I know her too long. I know.
Refer back to something else we were talking about.
Jeremiah is here. Good evening, Jeremiah. Great to see you too, my friend.
Thank you for joining us.
Have you tried that 7 Brew down the street from your house? I'm curious. I want to know if it's good coffee or not. I like coffee.
I want to know if it's expensive.
Lynn said, "Listen up. I think there's going to be a quiz at the end of this live."
I'm sorry. I get talking about things.
That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do.
I can't stop. And I'm trying to be general with information because I don't want anybody to think this is medical advice. I'm trying to be very general with the information. So.
Carnivore K said she had very low D, took prescription D for years. Nothing ever got in the normal range. Heard a podcast and said needed a D with K2. Take it over the counter now and in the normal range.
Nice. And vitamin D does impact a lot in your body. And vitamin D is a fat-loving vitamin, which means that it is utilized by the brain. And so if you are taking supplements of it, you need to talk with your physician about how much monitoring they want to do because vitamins A, D, E, and K you can overdose on.
And she's talking about how she's taken it for a while. Goodness, she's in the normal range. Charlie said, for a while, my A1C on strict carnivore hovered around 5.7. So I did a glycated
albumin.
Okay, thank you. I don't always read too good, okay? I need to go to this institute for kids who don't read good.
Get you hooked on phonics.
Yeah, it worked for somebody. Per Dr. Barry, that turned out normal. Theory is that the red blood cells live longer, but lately A1C lowering. So basically that's the theory. I don't know if we've talked about that or not before, where if you are going strict carnivore and you're not, and your inflammation's lowering and all that, then your red blood cells
will last longer,
live longer, so your A1C will be trend higher instead of, even though it's not really a necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
And Caitlin said that she's going to try to grab her a monitor for sure, and that she has to go make her own content. She makes TikTok stuff too.
Oh, well, we love you. Thanks for popping in.
Yes, I'm glad you were here. And we were talking about Shauna, and her blood sugars have been about 135 to 150.
And that makes sense because pain causes a stress response, right? And when we're under stress, our blood sugar spikes. That's normal. Not great, not fun. Nobody wants that, but that's normal.
All right. So he says, I take D3 and K2 supplements, 10K units or whatever that is.
Mhm.
My blood D3 levels can sometimes be above the 150 reference range limit. Is there any danger to a high D3 level?
So I would say consult with your doctor on that. So we get minimal nutrition education in nursing school. What we were educated on is memorizing A, D, E, and K can all be toxic because your brain is mostly made out of fat. And so those are fat soluble vitamins, which means that they can go to your brain and cause problems. Now, what number at the end of your D? I don't know. I just plain don't know. But A, D, E, and K. So K is potassium. So A, D, E, and K all can cause overdose and issue. And I don't know if there's a difference between vitamin D3, because there's like 15 different variants at least.
Chris is here. Well, clicking along. Chris is here. He says, what is this? School for ants?
Yes.
Good to see you, Chris.
Thanks for joining
They're going
us.
live in a few minutes, so he'll probably not be here very long.
Yeah.
Let's see. Carrie said he also has some kind of stone, bladder stone as well.
Oh. Yeah, no, you need to see a urologist for that. Go see a urologist. General surgeon for the hernia and a urologist for the bladder stone. And I don't know better ways of dealing with the VA. I just plain don't know. I know they make life complicated for everybody. I often get patients who have been in and out of the VA multiple times, and I don't know how they end up at my hospital because they're supposed to go to the VA, but they end up at our hospital after having dealt with the VA for a long period of time and not getting the answers they need. So,
Let's see. Carter McKay said, yeah, the combo D3, K2 finally worked for me. So frustrating, took prescription for years and nothing. Let's see. And then Sean is talking about the white coat syndrome. I get my BP taken now. I request a manual BP processor. Yeah, I have issues with the automated as well. Automated always comes back really high. So when they do a manual cuff, it typically comes out much closer to the normal range for me.
Well, and you have to think about what is that manual cuff trying to read through, right? I don't know about you guys, but I got some extra wings here on this arm, and it's got to read through all of that. So there's a limitation to the equipment. And there's multiple different cuff sizes. There's all different kinds of things.
She said last time automated, it popped all the little vein things in her arm and hand. Excuse me.
You're probably using a cuff that's too small for you too.
Yeah. The doctor that was a quack wanted to put a hole in my back to get to the boulder in my bladder. I said no. I also said no to Flomax. Yeah, Flomax messed me up pretty bad a couple years ago.
I have a theory about that. Which I've told you about.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, go see a urologist. There are lots of different things that they can do. I don't know what would be most appropriate for you, but they have things like lithotripsy, which is using basically vibrations to break apart stones and remove them. So I would see if you can get into a urologist.
The doctor was a urologist.
Oh, well, see if you can find a better one. They're hard to get into right now.
Shannon says, I get the tachycardia episodes rarely since losing weight. Beforehand, it was frequent with BPM over 200 lasting a minute or two. Once since losing it lasted for about 10 minutes. CAC over 6,000.
So it sounds like there's some other things going on there. But yeah, there is benign tachycardia. That is a thing. My best friend has benign tachycardia. But she only gets, She only gets to like 150s, 170s, but still not great. I mean, obviously, when your heart's beating that fast, it can't be beating effectively. But it's definitely, there can be benign tachycardia.
Lynn says she's just teasing. She loves your medical expertise. And,
I'm not an expert in anything.
and Carrie says ants are always healthy because they have wonderful antibodies.
Yes.
Jaheel is here.
Thank you for joining us. How's Timmy?
Timmy, I hope Timmy's doing good. Timmy's probably about ready to retire, isn't he?
I thought he was about ready to die. Isn't he aging rapidly?
Yeah, I mean, he went from kindergarten to college to
being the
totally not made up kid.
What is that song? Oh, the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Ricky Schroeder?
No.
Oh.
Anyway.
Everyone loves Ricky Schroeder. D2 is what your body uses along with sunlight to make D3. It makes me want to watch Mighty Ducks 3.
Does it?
No. Jeremiah says that 7 Brew, he's not had it. He's not a coffee drinker. What's your life even like then?
Right.
I mean, what gets you up in the morning? The wife and kids have had other drinks and teas, and they like them. Chris is like, cat.
Right here. And the other one is right here. Turd burglars.
Cool rubs off. Yay, I'm so lucky. This is me now, aka Mr. Cool.
Yes.
Mr. Frosty.
Oh,
even.
Come on. You two can sit back down. I picked you up for about 2 seconds.
Like they're like, how rude. Now they're looking at like, if I could eat your face.
That one is mad at me.
Mm-hmm. You're not licking this, okay? That's weird. Don't lick the computer. That's not cool. If you get electrocuted, then it'll smell bad in here. Miriam is here.
Well, hello. Come here. Come away from the computer.
Yeah, but I don't trust non-coffee drinkers though. It's hard to trust them.
Is that what it is?
It's hard to trust them.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. What is this? The cat's in the kettle at the Peking moon. That's a Weird Al song. I mean, Chris probably knows all about that.
They do bother me, and I am thinking about it.
Unfortunately, Chris, this is real life.
For
real life. If the cat licks the computer, then it could be catastrophic, right?
Yes.
You also don't drink coffee, Chris? Oh my goodness. I knew there was something fishy about you.
I think I'd say we're the only normal people, but I really know better than that.
Yeah. Cindy says we're a rare breed. What? Oh my goodness. All these non-coffee drinkers.
I think we're the odd ones out.
I guess so. Well, have a good stream, Mr. Bear.
See you later. Thanks for joining.
Oh, I figured if you guys are all like in a non-coffee drinking club or something. There's probably like homework and stuff due every week. Coffee runs in my veins. Charlie? I knew I didn't trust Charlie. He says, I have never drank coffee. I had coffee when I was a kid for the first time. My grandma gave me like a spoonful of hers with sugar and cream. I was like, what is this trash? Oh, how times have changed.
Right. I started drinking coffee as a teenager.
Hey, Carrie, how long has it been since you've not had coffee, or did you start drinking coffee again? Because you'd been up to like 800 days or something like that.
Go up to Jaheel.
I'm drinking coffee I'm making coffee right now.
I will be making it as soon as we're done because it sounds delicious now that we're talking about it.
Timmy is actually 95 years old now. He's still as sharp as what's sharp? A knife, I guess, cutting steaks. Anyway, yeah. He's old and he bumps into things now like when he was a child, like 4 months ago.
Oh, is he gonna Benjamin Button this and like get real old and then get real young again?
Oh, Carrie drinks coffee again. Okay, because he had gone like hundreds and hundreds of days without drinking coffee. I want to say almost like 900 days or something.
Oof. I won't do that.
Since we're all confessing, I also don't drink coffee. See, look at this.
think we're the weirdos.
Amy, I drink 1 to 2 pots a day to make up for everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah, I drink at least 30 ounces of coffee every single day.
I drink 4 shots of espresso every morning. And then I may or may not have more coffee throughout the day.
And then like some other kind of energy drink and
I may or
caffeine.
may not have an energy drink.
Oh, so he has a cool French press that he makes about 2 cups a day. I have a French press in the cabinet that I've never used. Diet Mountain Dew, unfortunately, is still my go-to morning beverage with caffeine.
Ugh,
I don't
never liked Mountain Dew.
I don't like Diet Mountain Dew, but I like Mountain Dew Zero.
I don't like any
They
Mountain Dew
taste
product.
drastically different.
Not a Mountain Dew product person.
Sean says, I used to hate coffee. Shell just got me drinking it this past year. Now I'm a fiend. It's delicious.
It's amazing. It really makes me a nice person.
Carrie said he stopped drinking coffee for a year or 2.5 years and then started back. Yeah. Stacy says, I drink enough coffee for everyone who doesn't drink coffee on here, right?
Yes. See, if I don't have coffee, I'm not this pleasant. I'm just saying.
I make approximately 2 full pots a day for me too. Look at that. I drink at least 1 cup a day, but it's my medium fit, my heavy cream, my keto brain nootropics.
It's fair.
Susan doesn't drink coffee. Well, I mean, no one's perfect, I guess. I didn't think about that, Shannon, because he's very real, but I like that plot line. He might be very young again soon, if reality allows, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, if reality.
I gotta go mix some creamies for our dinner. Catch you all later.
Bye.
Have fun making all that racket.
We probably need to get going.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I need coffee. Need it.
If I could work night shift for 16 years without ever drinking coffee, I don't think I ever will. What?
Oof. I don't think I could ever do night shift.
Coffee is just what I look forward to in the morning. Like I get up, I'm like, coffee.
Or when I'm cold, I'm like, ooh, coffee. It sounds so good.
Has to be Diet Mountain Dew in a can. Can't stand the plastic bottles.
I love how we're all weird in our own ways.
Yeah.
Like I can drink Diet Coke warm and most people can't. Like it doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it. It's a little more bubbly and I'll burp more.
I started drinking coffee when I started started on keto. I was kind of the same way. So, well, no, not really. I started drinking coffee when I quit smoking cigarettes. So I picked up a more expensive habit, honestly, with coffee because coffee was like $2.50 a cup at the little coffee shop around the corner from where I worked, and a pack of smokes was $5, give or take. And I was probably smoking a pack every 2, maybe 2.5 days. So it was cheaper to smoke, but better for me to drink coffee.
Yeah.
In theory.
In theory.
Judy says, coffee all the way. Well, thank you, Judy, for being here.
Definitely coffee.
Yes. I've got some Baja Zero on the ground. I'm coming over. I love Baja. Baja Blast Zero.
I don't like any of that mess.
People saying bye to Cindy. Jaheel says, have you two done or planned anything exciting lately?
Went to Goodwill today.
I mean, we're looking at Christmas stuff for the girl. I got a job.
Yes, a job.
Ugh, I know.
We're looking at going broke for Christmas. That's the plan. So that's really what's going to happen.
Let's see. Do you all drink coffee for the caffeine or for the taste? I'm just curious what I'm missing. I like it for both.
So I like it because I like the taste of it. But if I don't have it, I feel like angry. Just angry.
So coffee is multifaceted for me.
And I don't know if it's the caffeine or missing something I like.
It's not just the caffeine. Caffeine's kind of like a bonus, I guess, but I enjoy the flavor. I love the way that a good espresso tastes with cream.
Yeah.
Like if we're at her sister's house and they make us fresh pulled espresso with steamed heavy cream.
Yeah,
that stuff is, and they're just making it out of like the Kirkland Costco beans. They're not even using like anything fancy for the coffee, but that $700 coffee machine.
I think it was more than that.
It's expensive coffee machine, and it makes
The best.
Oh, I would actually invest in one of those. If I had the extra coinage, I would invest in it because it's so much better than that one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't invest in it.
I know
because
you
it's
wouldn't
a lot of
because you're
money
a
that we're not going to waste.
cheap. Oh,
I am.
let's
I don't
see.
know why this won't stick to me tonight.
The coffee I get at the store is from Chiapas region and organic, and they ship it from the region to the University of Texas, and they roast it, and then they also contribute to Sharks Science.
That's cool. I like the science of sharks.
I drink coffee because I wouldn't last long in prison.
Same.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel about it. Because I don't look good in orange or stripes.
Coffee for both.
Yes.
Wait, what's the job? Did you share already? Well, I'm going to be driving train engineers and conductors from place to place. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a glamorous job, doesn't pay very well, but it's relatively flexible.
And it's contributing to the household.
And so she can still pick up her Friday shift that she likes to pick up. And
But I won't necessarily feel obligated to do it every week.
Yeah. I mean, she likes to pick it up because, and if me working a Friday and she can't pick it up, she makes like what I make in a month in one day. So, yeah. Coffee is also a diuretic and it helps with the hernia. Speaking of coffee, I'm addicted to those Lily Espresso chocolate chips. I also didn't drink coffee for 46 years, only been doing it for 2, decaf black with salt.
Those Lily Espresso chips are very good.
Oh, they're so yummy.
Very good.
They're so
They
yummy.
are the yum.
Congratulations. Hope you two will be my sugar friends now. We don't have any sugar in the house, bud.
I have no sugar.
I'll give it just a little sugar like that.
Just a little. There's your sugars.
But anyway, I want to say thank you all so very much for being here.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Sorry I got rambly.
You can help support the channel by visiting KetoSimple.shop. If you go to KetoSimple.shop, you can find out and order your Keto Chow fall flavors that are back in stock for right now. Pecan sticky bun, maple waffle, eggnog, gingerbread. Get them while supplies last. And if you order or feel so obliged, put together a subscription with Keto Chow, either a surprise box or a custom box, and you can get early access to the new flavor that's dropping on Black Friday.
Woo woo, new flavor.
Use my link at KetoSimple.shop. Check it out, and you can get up to 20% off if you do decide to get a subscription box. Not a bad deal, and you get early access. I hear it's going to be a good flavor. But anyway, with that, I want to love all of you guys, all of you members, everybody who comes and hangs out with us.
Yeah.
I will be live with Chris Cook in Nashville Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. He and I are going to talk about me. I don't know why, but we're doing it. Go back and take a listen to the live that we did on Sunday. It was me, Chris, and Victor. Chris Cook in Nashville, Victor from Southern Keto, and myself. Take a look, take a listen, watch that. It was a lot of fun. We'll be planning to do that again in the near future, most likely on a Sunday night in December. Not sure which Sunday night that's going to be, but we'll have to figure that out. Anyway, we love your faces. So glad you stopped by to hang out with us. And until next time, we will see you later.
Bye, guys.